Welcome to Politics NY with Skye Behind the Curtain, where we are with Jennifer DeSena, and she is running. She is a registered Democrat, but running on the Republican and conservative lines for town supervisor in Town of North Hempstead, which is in Nassau County. So welcome to the show, Jennifer. So tell everyone a little bit about yourself for people who don't know you.
I live in Manhasset, right up the block from Town Hall. I've walked past Town Hall every day for 20 years. I was an enforcement attorney at the SEC years back. And for the past 20 years, I've been just very active in my community, raising two boys, but always having a hand in what's going on in the town. I've helped on some zoning issues involving marijuana retail stores, and I'm the executive director of the Coalition Against Substance Abuse. So I sort of pull people together. That's my job. I have, sector partners and sector meetings, and I meet with police and local government, also the Nassau County District Attorney, our, state senators, and, we educate about underage drinking, marijuana, vaping, and social media. Basically, we have a whole generation of kids that have significant depression, and partly it's from growing up with social media, which is 24/7 pressure on them. So I've been active in my community, and when this job opened up, when our current supervisor announced she wasn't going to run, I thought, I hope someone with deep roots in the community goes for it.
Yeah.
And then suddenly they asked me. So it was a tough decision. But considering a lot of things that have been happening in politics, on the national level, even local, I thought that I really wanted to be the leader that I would like to see. So it's sort of, put your money where your mouth is, and do the things that you want to do. Try and make the change that you want to see. So here I am.
Yeah, it's great. I know you mentioned you're a registered Democrat running on the Republican and conservative lines, and there is a Democratic candidate running in the town, but really town leadership really should be bipartisan, because you're
Right.
running to meet the needs of the community, and it's not necessarily affiliated with that national narrative.
Sure. And, I've said sometimes there's no Democratic or Republican way to plow the snow and keep the parks safe and run the building department. I mean, these are services that we all pay for. It's not a party affiliation thing. We all pay for these services, and taxes are going up every year. And there's a real worry that taxes are going to become unaffordable, especially for our senior citizens on a fixed income. So, we have to be careful how we spend our money. And when you have, one party control for 30 years, there can be waste there. There's definitely, there's patronage hiring. We've also had a lot of turnover in North Hempstead at the high levels, at the top of the highway department and parks department. There's, something is not right when these high level employees keep leaving. So I worry that there might be too much politics in town hall, and that, it's a need for party loyalty that is really not representing the taxpayers very well. So, there is a Democratic candidate who has been connected with this administration for 20 years.
Mhm.
So, my thought is that if you need change from what's been going on, then somebody who's connected to the same people for 20 years is not going to be the candidate who can do that. So I think we need real change. We need a new culture where the employees are working for the town, not for reelection.
So is there a specific way that you would go about implementing that should you be elected?
The number one priority is the building department, and that affects our economic growth. We have the town has a bad reputation now, and businesses don't want to open here because it can take 2 years. Not a lot of businesses can afford to pay this high rent for 2 years, waiting to make their first dollar. So we have a lot of empty stores. We also have a lot of villages in the town of North Hempstead, 31 villages. So some residents, they get good service for their home from their village government, but some of us, and I live in an unincorporated neighborhood, we don't. And it can take 2 years to renovate one of these small homes. And, even our senior citizens trying to age in place can't get a permit to renovate their bathroom.
And that comes back down to the Department of Buildings?
Yes. Yes.
So who's in charge of the Department of Buildings in the town of North Hempstead?
The supervisor and the town board, but
Oh,
they haven't taken action. In fact, a friend who had a lot of problems getting her store opened said that the town council person said, sorry, I'm not allowed to talk to the building department. So it's just a total lack of responsibility and accountability. You know, the supervisor is responsible for the building department, but has not taken action. So, I mean, there need to be some personnel changes. They might need more resources, and I've heard that they've asked for more resources. But what we really need is to bring businesses and architects, the professionals, together, form an advisory council and find out what is important to maintain, you know, adherence to the code, but where do we have the flexibility where we can start saying yes to the builders and the homeowners instead of saying no. You know, we have cases where they say no because of a 2-inch difference in, you know, where the edge of the building is, you know, in relation to a setback. So over 2 inches, they're going to send a homeowner to the BZA, which takes months, and they have to pay an architect to represent them. And it puts them into another whole season for starting their project. So whenever there's a way that we can streamline and make things reasonable, we're going to do that so that we move forward and not stand still. I also think we need an amnesty period as well, because there are people who are afraid to go to the building department. They might want to sell their house, but they're afraid that when they open up their file, there might be an old problem in there. So if we offer an amnesty period, then people can check their files, make the corrections needed with no penalty and no violation issued, just so that now they're prepared and they'll be able to sell their house if they need to, or do work if that's what they would like to do.
So Jennifer DeSena, any last minute messages for the voters now that there's like a week left until the election?
Yeah, it's important to go vote. This is a local election and some people don't feel involved in the process. Maybe they think, oh, they're going to wait until next year, you know, when it's Congress, or wait for the president again. But local elections have a much bigger impact, and it's not only our tax dollars, but it's our safety. So if we don't have qualified people running our highway department, or you know, even the parks and issuing building department permits, if we don't have qualified people, it affects our safety. So it's important to go vote and, you know, and have a voice. You can't just stay home and complain on your computer. If you go vote, there are a lot of open seats this year, 4 open seats on the town board. So if you go vote, you can see the change that you're asking for.
All right. Awesome. Thank you so much for being part of PoliticsNY with Skye, and good luck with your race.
Okay. Thank you, Skye.